Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back with the Atlanta United Player Career Mode series, starting off the episode against Real Salt Lake on the road. I know it's been a little while since we have been in this, so a little bit of a kind of a recap here. We are 71 rated, still in really good form, and we're top of the league currently with assists with, I believe, 5 assists and 1 goal of the season, so we're at the top of the assist table, trying to keep Joseph Martinez up there in the goals as well. So it's been a little while since I've played this. I honestly don't know if I've played this since the update, and maybe that's why this kind of felt so weird going into this career mode, because I didn't feel like I still had that same connection like I did before. You know, before this little break I took from it and focused on the manager career mode, we were scoring goals, we were assisting a lot. Tito, Miggy, Joseph, and myself, we were all 4 of us creating goals a lot. Yamil was coming on doing his job. It was really good. As you guys see here in the table, we have a game in hand on New York Red Bulls and are down by 4 points from the top of the table. So I don't think we're going to dominate this league like we are in the manager career mode, because I'm not in control of all the players. I can only do so much. So it's really up to the computer to kind of do things. Here you see Joseph Martinez in 4th place, but really tied for 2nd in the early rankings for the Golden Boot. So really we're just trying to get the computer to kind of do what we want. And in the early stages, it felt like we were playing almost the same style that we were in the manager career mode. It felt really good. I saw some positioning issues, but nothing too bad. Here in the 26th minute, this is probably one of the best opportunities we had of the game, and I had a lot of these chances where I got on the outside of this right back and had a lot of chances on goal, but just couldn't quite get the shot that I needed. Until I get like an outside of the boot attribute, I don't think I'm really going to be able to make that shot. But I tried it a few times in that first half, but nothing really came off, and really nothing was happening in the first half. But what I wanted to talk about in this episode is how, honestly, I think this update made this game worse than it did better. The game felt really good in my opinion in the beginning. Yes, you had some questionable defending stuff, but I still think that happened, so I don't even think that was fixed. It's maybe a little bit better than it was before, but not really. The goalkeepers are supposed to be better, but worse at the same time. They seem better in like close quarters, but not so great in other situations, and then other times they seem too good. I just think the game was really good in how it was shipped. I think there was some other stuff, obviously they needed to fix with career mode and stuff like that, but the gameplay itself actually felt good. Maybe they can try to get back to where we were, but as of right now, it really doesn't feel like the same game. It almost feels like last year with a little bit of the new stuff that's in the game this year. But it's just not the same feeling that I got before, and that really comes through in this player career mode. The way that the AI plays, it feels a lot like last year, where the players positioning and the AI passing and the decision making, it just isn't really that intelligent like it was before. And honestly, I think that's why I'm scoring so many goals for the manager career mode. But here you see Zach Lloyd ends up coming on into the game at center back, but we were on all out attacking, so he ended up finding himself at like a second striker position almost, and it like threw off our whole lineup. I was playing on the right side of the field and Yamil was playing center mid. It was super confusing, but I managed to get a nice little back heel goal. You'll see another angle from it right here, right into the path of Zach Lloyd, who manages to get around before the defender can get there, and we grab the goal to win this game. Zach Lloyd obviously just in the right place at the right time. But yeah, it just feels like the game isn't the same that it was before, and it's super frustrating. This player career mode doesn't feel as good as it did in the beginning. I feel like the AI is not as intelligent as they were before the update. I feel like they dumbed down the difficulty of the AI a little bit. Here you're gonna see we end up getting another opportunity right off the kickoff. Joseph Martinez, right place, right time, blocks that ball down. Zach Lloyd on the ball one more time, just kind of passing the ball any way they can. I thought we had another opportunity right there, but nothing really came of it. But we get the ball one more time. I'm on the left side of the pitch finally again, and we just end up playing the ball in perfectly to Zach Lloyd, and he bangs this shot into the right side of the net, and we win this game 2-0. But Zach Lloyd's looking like he might be coming for that striker position. He's big, he's tall, he's decently fast for a center back, to be fair. I think he could definitely do a job in the midfield, so maybe that's something I'll do in the manager career mode. Who knows? I do still have him in my squad, and he could definitely end up getting some gameplay time in that midfield if I really wanted to. So we do end up winning this game 2-0. I managed to grab an assist, go to 6 assists, and stay at the top of the league for assist at this point. I believe Dom Dwyer is behind me currently, and Miguel Almiron is somewhere in the table as well with, I believe, 3 assists at this point from the last few games. So we end up getting this win, which kind of, takes away from what I'm saying, but in reality, it's still... I don't know if it's just me. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you guys having the same problem with player career mode? Does it just not feel like your team is playing the way that they should? Because that was my big thing last year whenever I did the Lee Sung-woo career mode and the FIFA 17. The Barcelona team that I played with didn't feel like Barcelona. They were making the wrong passes. They weren't in the right positions. They were just kind of all over the place, and I never really wanted to play with that team, so I went somewhere else where I could just be the star and try to take over the entire team and play it my way. It kind of feels like the same situation here, where I need to do a lot more, and you guys will see in the next 2 games we have coming up here in the episode that I try to call for the ball more. I try to get in the right positions. Then I get called for out of positioning because I'm not at that left mid spot, because I try to come in and try to do stuff in the midfield as well. But I feel like I have to try to do more, but the problem is that the teammates around me aren't getting me the ball in the right places. The passing's not good enough in some scenarios, and it's creating kind of a mess in the team. The passing's just not there. On top of all of this, there's obviously the LGP injury that happened, I believe, in the last episode, and that is why we started off the game with Michael Parkhurst and Bobby Boswell in defense, and then obviously Zach Lloyd came on to be the hero of the game. We had 93% passing in this game, 25% shot accuracy. I think I made 1 shot that ended up dribbling like straight to the keeper. 1 came off of the post, and then 1, I believe, was the one that you guys saw that went a little bit over the post. So 3 shots in the game, nothing too great. As you guys see here, we're just not getting that positional stuff correct, but the passing I have is good. 85% passing in this little stat that they have here, 30 passes completed, and I had 49 touches, so I felt like I had a good game, but it just wasn't really turning out for me in terms of me creating anything more than that Zach Lloyd goal. But when you win, you can't complain. Going into this next game, though, against DC United at home, we knew this would be a little bit of a challenge, obviously, from the manager career mode. First time I played DC United, I underrated them a little bit, and I made that mistake and ended up, I think, losing that game, either losing or drawing that game. But we wanted to come in here, try to do better, but without LGP in the defense, it feels a little weird. And I think we're just kind of trying to figure out what we're doing in the midfield and the positioning of Lorenowitz and Carmona. Carmona seems to be wanting to get forward a lot more, and he's kind of switching positions with me a lot, which obviously catches me out of position quite a bit. But it's like we're just trying to figure it out, and Miguel Almiron isn't really in the right places like he is in the manager career mode or in the early days of this player career mode. So it's a little bit frustrating to play in this team right now. We are 72 rated. I'm starting to use some of those, player training boosts just to get myself up a little bit faster. But really, it's like we're not doing all that great. And here you see we had 8 shots in the 30th minute. We actually end up conceding first, which comes down to a lot of us just kind of taking not that great of chances. We were kind of just taking whatever we could get. It was really frustrating to play that way. We were taking shots, I think, too early. We were taking shots out of position. And it was kind of frustrating to play in. You would call for the ball and they'd end up passing to somebody that was completely covered or wouldn't even get the ball to them in general. So going into the second half, we almost conceded here again, and we're at a 6.7 rating. Nothing horrible, but nothing great, like nothing to write home about. Brad Guzan comes up with a couple massive saves to make it only 1-0 going into the second half and giving us a chance to play for the second half. So just super frustrating how this game's been panning out, and I'm sure you can tell just by tone of voice and what I've been saying that this third game's not going to go very well either. But it's just, I don't know what it is, but this team doesn't feel the same as they did before the update. So again, let me know in the comment section below. Is the patch kind of frustrating you guys too? Is this the same game that we were playing a couple weeks ago, or are we playing a different game? Because it feels like we are. And I saw a comment, you know, that PES is better than FIFA this year, which is always the argument every year. I have seen some PES gameplay. It does look pretty good this year, I will say, but with like all the licensing issues and stuff like that, it just really never gets to that level. I may end up picking up the game sometime in the next couple months, and maybe try to play around with that, see how the MLS is in that game, see how the gameplay runs in that, because it's like right now it's either our team just isn't playing well together, and the second we're outscoring everybody in the league. I don't know, you see here I'm kind of just trying to take shots anywhere I can, playing super out of position. This definitely should have been a goal. I had an open shot basically on Bill Hamid, towering over that defender, but ended up putting it wide. So we had the opportunities to score. I had a lot of opportunities to score. This one coming off of my right foot, so not that great of a shot, but Bill Hamid just coming up with a big save again. I don't know if you guys heard in the news, but Bill Hamid is looking to leave DC United after this season and challenge himself a little bit more. I think you might see this with a lot of American players that want to challenge themselves more. They want to try to get into that next World Cup squad, which if you guys did watch that video that I uploaded, you would know that Bill Hamid is in my squad personally. So it kind of makes sense. He just wants to get himself to be better. So he wants to go to a team either in England or in Germany. Me personally, I think Germany and Italy have the best goalkeeper coaches. There's a lot of players to back up that theory, obviously. So it would be interesting to see Bill Hamid go overseas and play over there. I think he's a very good keeper. I think he has a lot of room to grow. He still hasn't hit, you know, the keeper prime yet, but I think he'll get there. Going into this NYCFC game, though, on the road, this was always going to be a difficult game, but here in the 33rd minute, we wanted to try to get something going, but again, it's like players are taking certain players on. Miggy just isn't having that same touch. He's trying to run with the ball too often. And here Jack Harrison ends up grabbing a goal against us, making it 1-0 in the 34th minute. So super disappointing to lose the ball right there in the midfield. I tried to call for that pass back, but you know, Miggy just tried to make that turn, and honestly I thought he was going to get it, but his touch was just a little too hard, and the defender was able to slide up under him, and they got the ball out to Jack Harrison right behind Greg Garza, and he managed to finesse that top corner. So you really can't complain conceding to like a beautiful goal like that. But you can definitely tell that the positioning of LGP versus Michael Parkhurst in that left center back position is a little bit problematic. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes going into the second half here, ending out the first. We're really just kind of on the back foot this entire second half. You see I'm at a 6.2 rating, always getting poor positioning. This is the game where Carmona wanted to play left mid for the majority of the game. For some reason he was trying to get forward more often than not, so he kept wanting me to play in the midfield, and then Tito would come over and try to play left mid as well, and then I have to run to the right. So it just doesn't feel like the players know where they're supposed to be right now, including myself at this point, because I'm trying to do too much that I'm caught out of position, so other players have to be caught out of position as well. So again, just super frustrating to play. I'm hoping that this is just, you know, kind of a bad day for me in FIFA and the player career mode, that, you know, if I come back to it tomorrow, it'll look a little bit better, we'll play a little bit better. So I don't know, we'll see how things go. I did upload a manager career mode episode today as well, so make sure you go to the channel and check that one out. Other than that, we're already closing out the second half. There really wasn't much going on. I wanted to show you a little bit more gameplay in the second half, just to kind of get the point across that the passing wasn't there, the positioning wasn't there. It felt like players were just scattered all over the pitch. So it was super disappointing to lose back-to-back games here, and only get 3 points from the episode. Obviously Zach Lloyd saving us in that first game from only drawing against Real Salt Lake, but again, super disappointing. You can see it on the face of Carlos Carmona right there. If you guys want to see another video today, honestly, I might try to get out another manager career mode, because I do want to get through that series by the weekend, so that next week we can hopefully start the Atlanta United Premier League series as well. So I have a few ideas coming for the channel, a couple more series that I'm thinking about doing, and depending on how well this player career mode goes over the next few episodes, we'll see if we end up replacing this with a different series as well. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As you look at my ending stats, this is probably one of the worst games I've had so far this season, but other than that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until the next one, I will see you guys later.